So moving on to our next topic, that's a system call. Okay, in our previous sessions, we've already learned what an operating system is. Okay, now that we know that the operating system is the one which manages the application programs in the user and also the hardware part of your system. Okay, so obviously, whatever user request is given to your operating system has to be managed in a proper way. So we have also learned that kernel is in heart of your operating system. It helps you execute methods. Okay, but these methods are called by whom and what is the entire process? Let's try and understand that today. Okay. So I'll move on to my next slide. Okay, so this is basically the architecture, okay, which shows basically how your operating system is placed between two things. So now this is your user part, that's your application programs. So this we also saw in the architecture of operating system that we have user, we have our system part or the resources, okay, the hardware part, okay, and the hardware and the user has OS as an intermediary part, okay. So now here you'll see is that there are multiple application program on the user end. Basically from your GUI, when you have multiple applications, you can send in requests to operating system, right? So we can send in multiple requests to our operating system. Operating system, as it also manages the hardware, will look for the resources that is needed for the user task to get completed. Okay, so now here, kids, we have to understand that what is the basic concept of doing all of this, okay, for OS. So when we say about operating system, see, kids, operating system has many methods in it. Okay, so as we talk about C, okay, now, when you're doing your C programming, okay, you write print f, okay, scanf, etc. Right? So all of this, when you write, obviously there has to be some logic behind. Those are some predefined libraries, okay, that runs when you just write those keywords, right? So the same way, when you give an input or you send a request to your operating system, okay, there are few functions or methods that are predefined, okay, and they are a part of your OS. Okay, your operating system has multiple methods and multiple functions that are predefined, which are used to fulfill the user request. Okay, that gets in through the application program to OS. So in operating system, kids, okay, you may have, like, say in Windows a few years back, if you talk about, there were some around 700 methods or functions that were predefined in it. Okay, so user basically doesn't have to write each line of code. Okay, now suppose if there were no predefined methods here. Okay, if you all have ever seen Linux, in Linux, kids, you have to write, or many things you have to command it through a code. Okay, even the read write concept that you write in Linux, okay, basically you type the code or the logic that you want to, okay, or you call the function by yourself. Okay, so in Linux there are many things which you'll also see in our practicals, that we write and call the function by yourself. But when you talk about your Windows system or even a lot of things in your Linux inside, okay, there are few pre-defined methods that are there inside, okay, which a user basically doesn't call by writing the method name. Now, for example, like if I say I want to create a new process, now suppose user has sent a new request, okay, so say user want to print something. Okay, so basically to print something, it has sent a request saying print. So as soon as it says print, there's a new process that is created for operating system. Correct? So these new process has been created basically with the help of fork method or the spawn method. So did user actually write the fork method there? No. User just said print, right? The process was automatically generated, the fork method was automatically run, and the logic inside is already pre-built there, right? So basically, your OS has such multiple methods. Now, suppose when you want to write something, okay, in a file, or the way you write something and you save it, okay, so it's to save means is to write in the memory, right? Or you want to read something. So user just double clicks on the file. Does the user actually say read and then the two brackets to say that run this method? No. Does the user actually say write? It only says save, right? So there are no methods that user have to actually write and note down there. Okay, the user have to only command with the help of those application programs that it has on the front end, right? Based on that, OS has multiple methods based on your request. It will choose few and run and complete your task. Right. So as I said, now suppose the Windows have 700. So does it need to run all of it together? No. Basically, user must have given a request that requires only three methods right now, may require only five methods right now. Okay, so out of those five methods, how do an operating system know that out of this big bunch of 700, I need these five methods? Right. So, let's take an example. Suppose when you go to a library, okay, so you have thousands of books around you, right? So like there are books with different stream here. The same way, there is stack where OS stores all your methods. Okay, so OS is all your methods stacked with it. Okay, so the way the library is, suppose if we just tell you that go and look for you are a user, right? You have no idea of what the library has. You just know, yeah, these are the section in it, but you actually don't know where things are placed, right? So what you exactly have to do is you have to go, you have to tell the library ma'am that you have to give me this book. She may go sort it, get that exact book and give it to you, or may search or do whatever, right? So what has happened, there is somebody who's helping you filter amongst all this book and get the one that you need. The same way, when you talk about operating system, you have multiple methods that it has stored within itself. Okay, so these multiple methods that are there could be in numbers of 700, 800. So out of this, if it has to know what are the four or what are the five that it has to look for and execute, okay, it may need a help, right? So that help is given basically by a system call. Okay, so our main topic for today is your system call, what exactly they do. Okay, so based on your user request, no kids. Now, suppose if user has created a new process, so I need a fork method. So now I have in stack, I have so many methods right there. Okay, so out of that, I have to call the one method, okay, that is needed to fulfill the task of the user. So system call will do what? It will go to that stack, it will look for the methods that are needed. It may be more than one, right? It could be any number of methods that is needed because the task depends on what the user gives. Based on that, whatever methods are needed, all of it, the system call will call. I repeat, it only calls a method. It doesn't execute it. Okay, the methods are basically executed by your kernel kids. Okay, the OS kernel is the one who executes this method. Now suppose if there's a new process, if a fork method is called by the system call, because system call has understood that the user request is gotten, okay, to create a new process, the system call has called the fork method. Right now it is only called, it may not execute. Okay, the kernel is the one who is the commanding one for the OS, right? It is basically the heart of OS, one who commands everything. So the kernel would decide whether it wants to allow or disallow the execution of a particular method. So that's why it executes by itself if it finds that the resources, the conditions needed to execute that method is appropriate. Okay, if it feels that the resources are available. So why this task is given to kernel is because kernel is the one who basically has an idea within the OS of what resources are available. Now suppose if a user gives a fork method and system call directly executes it without knowing, if I like if a user says print, okay, and system calls looks for a method that helps it to print and write something over somewhere. So and if it directly executes and it really don't know if the printer is available or no, that may make no sense. So system call is the one who only calls these methods. Okay, it calls this method. Okay, and then the OS kernel executes this, and based on the user request, the methods are executed and the task is completed. Okay, so this is about your system call. There are various type in system calls here that we need to see. Okay, so you have system calls for process management, you have system calls for file management, directory management, device management, communication management, and information maintenance. Okay, so we'll try understand basically what this is. Okay, what basically your process does. The way system call is, kids, it has different categories in it. Okay, it has different categories of groups, okay, in which it keeps these methods. Basically, if you talk about a process, now as we said, if you want to create a new process or you want to stop some process, okay, so we said, right, that the process could be in different states. So in whatever state it wants to manage with whatever method, all of it would be a process management part. Okay, talking about file, now if you want to create a file, delete a file, basically if you want to reposition it, okay, all of this is being covered under your file management. Basically it creates different categories in which it could keep these methods so that it's easy for it to access and call something. Okay, and the next part is your directory management. As I told you, the directory concept I'll be covering in a practical session. Okay, over here the directory management, the creation of this directory and the management methods that are needed for all of this, okay, is under your directory management part. Talking about a device, okay, to allow, disallow a device, okay, all of this concepts related to device is covered under your system calls for device management. Okay, your OS covers your interaction or the communication between, as we learned in the basic definition, the all the methods that are covered under communication part. Okay, whether about sending a message or receiving a message, okay, to allow, disallow, or give privileges to the user to communicate or no, all of these methods are being covered under your communication management part. Okay, and your last part is your information maintenance. Now, information maintenance could involve system date and time, okay, or information about files, okay, different properties about some files, okay, all the information that is needed, okay, for a particular task to get over with, okay, all such methods are being covered under your system calls for information maintenance. I hope it's clear. That's all for system calls. That's all for today.